Test Drive with Graeme Fletcher.
This week on Test Drive we're in Keswick, Virginia to put Jaguar's latest and quite possibly greatest through its paces. This is the all-new Xj Sedan, a car that comes with a very pleasant surprise. A surprise I'll let you in on a little later on. The introduction of the new Xj series is an important one for Jaguar because it is the first new car released with Ford Motor Company as the new owners. Indeed, this car is critical to the very survival of Jaguar as a company. As such, the car was designed by listening to the voice of the customer. The result is a car that is quicker, quieter, prettier and stronger, the overall body stiffness being upped by 16%. The suspension is fully independent. Up front, the Jag features a double wishbone design with coil springs and a roll bar, while the rear gets transverse wishbones and coil springs. The resulting ride comfort is quite simply second to none, the occupants remaining oblivious to the rigours of even the roughest of roads. That said, the feedback delivered to the driver is still such that you feel in complete control when you begin to push this heavy car. The icing on the cake comes in the form of the speed-sensitive power-assisted steering. You can park the car with your pinky, and yet at speed the control and on-centre feel are excellent. The suspension also features anti-squat and anti-dive geometry, which keeps the car on the straight and narrow under hard acceleration and heavy braking. The brake system itself is comprised of a large set of ventilated discs at each wheel, and comes complete with an anti-lock system that features yaw control. During the brake tests, I hauled this heavy car to a halt in 113 feet from 80k. Repeated stops were as straight as an arrow and there was no evidence of fade. The performance of this system represents a marked improvement over previous models. The last time I tested an Xj, I suggested Jaguar had lost sight of their heritage because of the square headlights they introduced. Well, the heritage is back and back big time. We've got the round headlights and the scalloped hood back, but the really neat part? The leaper's back exactly where it belongs. Under the hood of the XJ6 is an inline 4-litre 6 that churns out 245 horsepower and 289 pounds-feet of torque. While this engine is similar to the unit used in last year's model, it has been significantly reworked to produce better power and fewer emissions. In the race to the 100k mark, the Jag requires a little under 9 seconds. Matched with this engine is a 4-speed automatic transmission that features Jaguar's J-gate shifter. This allows you to drive the car normally in the automatic mode, however when the mood suits you can operate it manually. During my time with the car, the shifts were always silky smooth, even under hard acceleration. Inside, the driver and passenger are coddled in the lap of luxury. The redesigned power 12-way seats offering wonderful comfort, the dash is aesthetically pleasing as well as highly functional, and all the controls operate with a silky smoothness that only Jaguar can produce. Of course, a Jag would not be a Jag unless it featured every conceivable creature comfort, and in the new Jag this runs right down to the 6-pack CD player. The designers put a great emphasis on retaining the scallop shape of the deck lid and keeping the height of the rear end down. The result is a trunk of limited capacity. The other point is that the shape also impinges on the usefulness of the available space. Off the top, I suggested this Jaguar held a few surprises. Well, here it is right here, a Jaguar first. An intercooled supercharger added to their 4-litre engine bumps the horsepower up to 322, and torque is rated at no less than 378 pounds-feet. As well as featuring everything you find in the XJ6, the XJR gets a host of functional and aesthetic upgrades. The eye-catching looks start with a mesh grille which is surrounded by a body colour bezel and continues through to the mammoth 255/45 Pirelli P0 tyres. These things give the car a brutish look as well as the grip needed to keep this sleeper pointed down the road. In winter, the standard traction control will help harness the horsepower. The system operates by reducing engine power whilst braking the wheel that loses traction. Other functional upgrades include sport-tuned steering and suspension and larger 17-inch wheels. All in all, a package that is sure to be a hot commodity, especially given that the 100k mark is reached in a tad over 6.5 seconds. On the safety front, the Jag scores well with dual airbags, ABS, available traction control and adjustable upper seatbelt anchors. Well, that's it for this week's test drive. Is this Jag the best one to date? In my view, it is. It has the power, the panache and the poise to run with the big boys, especially if you go with this particular puppy, the XJR.
If you consider Motoring TV's been on the air for 30 plus years, there's no doubt you've missed a few episodes. Well, there's a couple of ways you can catch up and make sure you don't miss anything. First, you can go to YouTube and look up just segments or complete shows. Also, if you want to know what we're doing, like today on a daily basis, just go to our Facebook page. And also, you can go to motoringtvshop.com, get some cool swag. Oh, there's also that Instagram.